Welcome to Nightlight. Step away from the mainstream and gather around as we enlighten the world and our realities and travel this cosmic journey we call life. Join us as we share with you and provide that beacon that can guide us all to a better way. Explore with us as we examine a metaphysical montage of spiritual insights covering everything from the mundane to the magical, UFOs to unicorns, and everything in between. This is a time of awakening, of sharing and evolving, of spreading our wings and soaring on the cosmic breath of creation. Come and join with other light-minded spirits as we weave our lights together to seek understanding, enlightenment, and with a little luck, some wisdom. This is Nightlight, a reminder that you are never alone.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. It is a pleasure to be here. It's sort of a cool way, pardon the pun, to spend a hot summer evening with all of you. I'm looking forward to this. I always love the reading shows because they are so exciting to me. As I've said before, I always learn from you guys when I read you. So you become my teachers, and I'm so glad there are several of you out there that are going to share your wisdom with me through giving me the honor to read your cards. If you do want a reading, make sure that you put your question in the comment box, and you do it in caps so Greg can find you and put a little star by your name after we give a reading to you. Please be gentle with Greg. He is new to this business of handling a chat room. So actually, 2 years ago when he started to work with me, I bet he never even anticipated he'd be doing something like this in a couple of years. So it goes to show you how strange and wonderful and magical life actually is. If people would like a reading from me, you can book a reading on my website, barbaradulong.com, and you can see all the other good stuff that's on there too. It's a lot. It's been a lot of fun. The website's been up for a lot of years, so there's a lot of great material there, and we're starting to do a lot of new stuff too. So do check the website out because it's actually getting very, very busy. And I kept thinking, I'd get things going and I could sit back and just relax, and that's not the case. When you're working with magic, all it keeps doing is throwing more magic at you, and you have to keep working at it, and the more you work at magic, the more it increases. So forget retiring. That's sort of definitely out of the milieu, for at least for the near future. So Greg, who do we have first?
Okay, well, Bryn was the first one to comment, and then put in all caps, came in again. General reading, please. Thank you.
Okay. So, Brent, hey, good to see you again, by the way. It's really so cool when people keep coming back year after year after decade. It does give me great confidence that either they like my voice or I'm giving them something valuable, or maybe a little bit of both. So, Bren, cool time for you. It does feel as though you're at a place where things are opening up. So you're having downloads of spiritual energy coming at you from a lot of different directions. So I would be, kind to yourself. Try to get enough rest and stuff, and hydration for sure, especially this time of year. It does feel as though you're coming into a time when almost anything you start is going to manifest for you, is going to explode for you in a good way, and open you up to new aspects of yourself that you hadn't expected were there. It's a time for new projects, new talents, new gifts, new inspirations. And as you get into the August timeframe, it does feel like there's new beginnings here. You're pulling parts of yourself that you've used in other places, and you're creating new directions for yourself to go. It's very exciting. It feels like there's a sense here of, I see you letting go of things that have weighted you down. I almost feel like it's funny. I feel your right ankle feels like the chains are off you. I don't know what that means, but it does feel as though you're going to be able to have the movement in your life that you've been wanting to have, that you've been stressing yourself to kind of happen. And it does feel as though this is opening up new vistas for you as you get into September. New time for you to take care of yourself. I feel in many ways you're reinventing yourself. So there are new directions you're going to be reaching in. I think it's almost like by the time we get to September, it almost feels as though you have a new breath, a new direction, a new aspect to yourself that you're allowing out. It's almost like you're bringing things out of, pardon the expression, out of the closet, things that you have wanted to do, that you've started and that you haven't actually finished or gotten more into. And there's something about music here too. So music is coming into your life to a far greater degree, especially in the September timeframe. October, there's a sense here of moving into a new aspect of life. So there's a change to career, a change to direction, a change to how you're going to be working with yourself for the next decade. And it's a whole decade. So make sure that whatever you start this year is going to be something that has expansiveness. Pardon, my cat is singing in the background. She'll stop soon. As you get into November, there's a sense here of Phoenix rising energy, rebirthing yourself, new directions, new talents are coming into play here. It's you're letting go of all of those things that just haven't served you well and moving in a new direction. There may actually be a physical move for you as well, if not an actual move, certainly thinking about it. And in 26, God, time does fly. It feels as though in 26, there may well be a relocation of some sort for you. As you get into the December timeframe, new freedom here. I feel that you have the freedom to move in new directions, to go in directions you didn't think you had the opportunity for because they're all here. And then as you hit January, there's magic and miracles, expecting the unexpected. January is the time when doors open for you. And I would say make sure you tie up all your loose ends by the time you get to December, because as you hit January, there's a whole new life opening up for you. And as you hit February, body, mind, spirits together. Here again, I'm seeing a move or a movement for you. And if it's not actually a movement, there's more travel here than you ever expected. As you get into March, there's money coming into you above and beyond what you anticipate. This is not from someone passing. It's not an inheritance or anything like that, but it does feel it's money coming into you don't expect, and it's a great deal. Everybody's expectations of what a great deal is. My expectation would be over $1,000 plus. So do watch for that. It is not, by the way, it's not a tax refund. So while you may be getting that too, this is not a tax refund. This is money coming into for services rendered is what it feels like. So you've done something for someone and not been paid, or you've sold something and not got the money. There's money coming in that you don't expect. Really cool time, especially with taxes coming up in April. As you hit April, there's a sense here of letting go of things that you've been carrying inside. We all have issues that we chew on over time, sometimes over decades. And what I'm feeling here is that April is a time that you're letting go of those things. You're kind of just saying, enough. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to argue about it. I'm just letting it go. And you're freeing yourself up so that there's a greater sense of freedom and lightness about you. And because of that, because when you let go of anger or depression or anything that is holding you down and back, you feel lighter. There's more light within you, and spirit is able to then bring more into your reality so that there's a great deal of excitement because new tools basically are being made available to you. I don't know whether they're on a spiritual level or a psychic level or a physical level, but no new tools are becoming available to you. And then as you hit the May time frame, and there's more money coming in here. So it's a time of abundance. It's a time of being able to, I have the one thing I see abundance here. Some of it is monetary, but other of it is not. I just want you to be very careful about how you deal with your money from the March time frame on through next summer, because you're going to be getting lumps, but they're not repeating lumps. So it's not an uppance of your salary. It's money coming in chunks. So be careful with it when it comes. Don't spend it all in one place. Or if you do, make sure it's a good place. I don't want to, throw water on a fire here exactly, because it does feel it's going to burn a hole in your pocket, and don't let it. Allot yourself a certain amount you can waste and have a good time wasting it, but only a percentage. You have to be responsible. If you're not responsible, then you'll shift yourself back a step or two. And I want you to be responsible, because it looks like such fun. June is a time where there's work. It feels as though next June is going to be a time in which you're really rolling up your sleeves and working a lot harder than you anticipate. It feels as though it's exciting because it's a different area you're working in, and you're finding a renewal within yourself that you hadn't expected. It's going to be a very exciting year, very busy, but very profitable. Hope that helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Next we have Kathy. She said, "Hi, Barbara. Can you tell me what you see for my hospital and my career there? I would love a more detailed reading from you. How can we set that up?"
Okay.
Now,
Already,
but she also later came in and said, "I like a general reading too." So there you go.
Okay. All righty. Your hospital. Oh, don't think I've had anybody that owned a hospital before. Or worked there. Okay, let's see. Actually, letting you all know that when I get somebody that I'm reading, I use the Cosmic Deck of Initiation that I created, that's out there and available. They're circular. The cards I'm using are circular, but the cards that are out there now are hexagon. But it's a great deck. It's a positive deck for sure. And it gives great information. So for my hospital career there, we look at career. It almost feels like you're doing two things at the same time. So it feels as though you have two careers here. I would say that currently what you're doing is in many ways a stepping stone for you. I don't feel this is something that you're going to do forever. I do feel as though for right now it's really good and it's beneficial for you. I feel that I feel you getting ready to move on to new vistas. So while I'm not seeing you leaving your job, I'm seeing you also picking something else up on the side. It feels as though this is a time for you to be. This doesn't feel it's your heart's desire. And it feels as though you're moving more and more towards working towards your heart's desire, what gives you pleasure, which gives you joy. I mean, it's always important to earn money, because it's great to have clothes, a roof over your head, and food in your mouth. But at the same time, you're on a spiritual journey. And from what I can tell here with these cards, you're a tremendously spiritually oriented person, and your spiritual journey in many ways is becoming more and more and more and more important to you, so that it's going to take on more of your time. And again, I'm not seeing you leave your job right now, but I am seeing that it's temporary, sort of. You maybe have 3 years more there or less. It just feels like this isn't your heart's desire. This is you want to serve humanity in a different way, a more unique way, and I do feel that you're going to find that way. This is a stepping stone, however, for you. You will be meeting people at this job that definitely will give you the door will open for you to use this job as a stepping stone to a new level of career, spiritual commitment, and tapping into humanity. You like to have a lot of irons in the fire. You like to have a lot of things going on at the same time. You bore easily, so you have a lot of things that you can slip back and forth to, so that you'll be able to keep yourself energized and excited about the work that you're doing, so that having at least 2 or 3 other areas that you're putting your energy into is really, really important. August is an important time for you because it does feel like you are beginning to take stock of the different options you have in moving forward in new directions that will enable you to expand yourself spiritually and professionally. The two have to be balanced for you. It does feel as though, as you get into the September timeframe, new people are coming into your life. So you're going to find people that are going to give you options and open doors for you and open new directions to you. As you get into November and December, it does feel here as though your focus is on home, and home is special for you. Your home is a sanctuary for you, and it does feel it's going through changes, and you are altering things to make it even better than it is now. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying you're going to be changing things around for better energies. I almost want to say feng shui here, although don't go crazy with it, because you can really go wild with it. But check into feng shui a little bit as you get into the November, December timeframe. Again, this duality, this having 2 directions you're moving in is really quite profound. And as you hit December, this is where magic happens for you. This is where you're beginning to see what the next step is. And as you hit the January timeframe, you go from 2 to 3 focuses as far as your career, your profession, your spiritual journey go. The other thing I would suggest strongly is learn how to juggle, literally learn how to juggle, because there's something about you that you tend to perseverate from time to time. I would buy a juggling book and learn how to juggle. If you can keep three balls in the air at a time, you can do that with work and things will work beautifully for you. But at this moment in time, juggling is difficult for you. So learn how to juggle. Once you can do it physically, it becomes imprinted in you emotionally. It's also a great way to calm yourself and balance yourself out, because you do get very, very hyper at times. By the time you hit January again, there's at least 3 different things that you're focused on, and February has you working very hard on a new project. You love new projects. You just, if they don't finish fast, you get bored. So that's why you have so many. You do have some things shoved in the closet and under the bed that you should get rid of, though. Especially the closet. The closet seems to be a bottomless pit, kind of. But as you, sorry, didn't mean to throw your closet in here, but I saw a closet that was very, very full. In the March timeframe, here's where your intuition begins to focus even more than it is now. I'm feeling a step up also in your intuitive sense. We go from being intuitive to psychic to spiritual to cosmic. I'm not sure what the next step is, but if I get there, I'll let you know. But But what you've got here is it's a step up. You're finding a new elevation, a new degree of the ability to intuit and to know what's coming. And as you hit April, here's where I see Phoenix rising energy here. Here's where you let go of the old stuff. You really do. It feels like you're going to declutter like crazy, make Goodwill very happy. But what you're doing is you're making room for the newness that is coming into your life. As you hit May, there's whatever you send out returns to you greatly magnified. And it does feel as though there's a sense here of you talking more, of you expressing yourself more, of you allowing yourself to speak your truths instead of holding them in. I feel strongly that in many cases you've had feelings, you've been inspired, and I feel that you kind of I'm not saying stand on the corner and start spewing philosophies, but I am saying that there are talents and gifts inside of you, especially in the spiritual realm, that would be wise to write down, because at some point in time there is publication. I hope that helps. And your closet, definitely. I relate to it. I have one just like it, but every now and then you have to go through it and take care of it. Okay, Mark. You know, I'm so used to working with Mark, I keep calling Greg Mark. I don't do that to you when we're on the phone.
No, you don't. It's okay.
Well, hey, he's a good man and he's a good friend, so it's flattering.
They've been working with Mark a long time, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have Marav. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And asked about a general reading. Came back in and posted it again. And then actually, let me just bring up, she asked this question: who picks the cards, or do you go by numerology, our names?
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to address that before you
Sure. Obviously you don't, but once I've connected to another energy, I draw it for you. So it's your energy that actually picks them. It's how I do readings when I do them by the phone. I tune to that person. And, you know, when I tune to your name energy, and it doesn't matter if it's not your real name, it's the one that you have asked the question through. So that's the energy that I because sometimes people don't use their real names here. Don't know why, but it happens. So I tune to the name and I deal the cards out. I shuffle them, and it's always quite accurate. It always hits home somewhere, and it's worked for over 50 years. You need to have something to tune to draw. And so the name is what I use when I do the readings here on the air. If somebody was getting a personal reading in person, I usually let them cut the deck anyhow. But for the most part, I don't need that. It works. The cards are magic, and people's energy is always so profoundly beautiful that it's always a pleasure to tune in. And okay, so Merav. Merav. Pretty name. Okay, so what I've got here is that you've spent a great deal of time planning for things you're a planner, and if you don't do it physically, you certainly do it mentally. And it feels to me as though this is going to be a year in which there's a lot of planning that goes on. It feels as though you are at a place in time here where you are understanding more wisely where people are coming from, where people are, what people are around you that are definitely of service to you and of service to spirit. I feel a tremendous amount of spiritual energy here, as though you have been in past lives in service of the source or the light or whatever you want to refer to, the source of all creation. You are someone who is honorable and magical and gentle, and sometimes you just stand back and watch as things are happening rather than trying to get involved. You're almost watching patterns renew over and over and over again. As you get into the August timeframe, it feels to me as though you are making ready to make a move. It feels as though you are moving into new areas of life, into new areas of exploration. And it does feel as though new levels of understanding of a cosmic wisdom are flowing to you. You may well have felt the downloads as they were coming into you. Usually it interrupts sleep patterns profoundly. I don't know why, but it does. And it does feel here as though in the September timeframe, there's going to be a unity of focus. You're going to finally feel as though you have a new focus, a new direction you're going to be moving in. And it has a great deal to do also with healing energy, with healing on a spiritual level, maybe a physical level as well. Not only are you going to feel yourself healing yourself, but you're going to have the ability to share that energy with others. The phrase out there is heal or heal thyself first. And it does feel as though you have that very much at heart and mind. And it does feel as though healing on many different levels is very important to you, whether it's on the physical or the emotional or the spiritual level. And it's, again, you're a watcher of sorts. You are seeing people develop and to find their own directions and their own pathways. And there's great joy in you. There's a great deal of light in you too. As you get into the November timeframe, here's where a great deal of new wisdom comes your way. But it feels like it's ancient wisdom. It's ancient wisdom that you are turning into, and you are evolving it into wisdoms that serve this particular time frame, so that you're familiar with the ancient wisdoms. You have a frame of reference from them from past lives, yet their wisdoms don't fit today's society as well as they might, but you're evolving them so that they do flow with the energy that is around you. And as you hit the December timeframe, my goodness, this is a time where the first thing that comes to mind is take your vitamins. December is going to be a very busy time for you. It's going to be a time when you are scheduled very, very closely in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different areas. And it does feel as though there's this element here of giving a piece of yourself almost everywhere. And it feels like it's a very exciting time for you, because you're able to energize yourself and fulfill all the commitments that you have made. You've overbooked yourself for sure, but it's a joyful time for you. And I feel you celebrating from the October timeframe through the January timeframe. It's almost as though you are celebrating different spiritual aspects, not necessarily the ones that are common to those timeframes, but you are bringing the past into the present and remembering past lifetimes. And it's a very joyful time for you, because you're also identifying people that have been with you in past lifetimes, not necessarily that they will recognize it, but you will recognize it and feel as though you are completing promises made. And it's a very joyful time for you. January has a new direction for the light. It does feel as though light energy, the term light energy is thrown around a lot, and it means a lot to a lot of different people. To me, I see new light coming into your life, as though you have opened a doorway that you have been reluctant to open, and there is new light that comes into you, that energizes you and that enlightens you, spiritually speaking. I don't see you religious as much as spiritual. And it's the religious part of you that is just so beautiful that it touches all major religions, certainly, but it goes beyond that. And you have a cosmic flow of energy to you, especially as you get into 26, that is going to increase greatly compared to what you're experiencing now. Not to diminish what you're experiencing now, because you've got great stuff, but January is a time where it feels as though you're getting rid of all the things that no longer serve you of a spiritual nature, because they're no longer needed. So you've taken a step beyond and gone into things more deeply. There's an understanding as to, cosmically speaking, what you're going to be experiencing. You have, as you get into the February timeframe, a lot of work that you're going to be doing. It feels like you're going to be sharing with groups of people too. So you may be speaking in front of groups of people anytime from the December timeframe on, not preaching, but sharing and talking and helping people to discover within themselves the same things that you've discovered within yourself. Everybody's always on a different pathway, so it's always a different direction they're going to be going, but you seem to have the capacity to be open enough to let people speak to you about what they're feeling, and you're able to help them to find their pathway, not yours. And this is spectacular. It's I don't know what you do professionally, but there's an aspect of you that is definitely that of a counselor that is really quite profound. As you come into the March timeframe, there's a sense here of new levels of understanding. I do feel you speaking compassionately in front of groups of people. I feel that you're going to be sharing your understanding of a lot of the spiritual concepts that everybody talks about, and showing people how there are new levels to everything, cosmically speaking, and enabling people to see that every life is a stepping stone, every day is a stepping stone. And you just have a wonderful wisdom about you that is quite, I hope you publish. As you get into the April timeframe, there's a new flow of energy here. It may move you in new directions. It may move you in new directions, career and personally. And as you get into the May timeframe, you have the law of transmutation here, so that there are many changes that are going to be gone through within you and around you. And there's new commitment as you get into the June timeframe. I feel there may be a move here for you. But at the same time, the spiritual and the cosmic are calling to you greatly, and it feels as though it's something you've been searching for, and it's definitely here. It's a matter of opening the door. I hope that helps. Greg? Yes, Greg.
Yeah, I mean,
Write it and stick it on a stick it thing here. So remember it's Greg. Remember it's Greg.
I just saw that Mark popped in, so Mark is online.
Ah.
Hi, Mark. All right, next up is Lynn E.T. She would love a general reading, please. Thank you.
Okay. You know, when I used to do readings on the air, I used to tell people you have one question, and it got to the point where the questions were very mundane. And so I finally said, look, let me just give you what Spirit gives me. And that's where the general reading came from.
She also said, hello there, Barbara. Love your lives.
Me too. Wouldn't have it any other way. Okay. This is a cool time for you, because you're so eclectically oriented that you've got so much going on all over the place. It's a joy to see all of the stuff you do. It does feel as for the next year, the element of no matter what you touch, you bring magic to. And it does feel as though there is a sense here of being of service. There's a karmic feeling here, as though this lifetime for you is one of joyful celebration, jumping project to project, person to person, lifetime to lifetime. And it does feel as though you are this lifetime drawing a great deal of stuff from past lives. So you have to have very, very rich dreams, or you have to have a lot of feeling of different eras in the past that you're just drawn to like crazy, because there is this sense here of in past lives you have done little things, and this lifetime you're doing big things. It does feel as though people are coming into your life just, I want to say strangely. They're not strange, but the situations in which they come into your life are quite unique. And it does feel as though this is a karmic 12-month time frame for you, for sure, where you're going to be gifted, and you're going to be people are going to touch into your life, and almost like, I don't know where they came from, but they're wonderful. It does feel as though August is going to be a time frame where you're working on combining a lot of issues within your life. You have this wonderful pursuit of energy that is just profound, and you get so excited about stuff, you just can't stop doing stuff. I would imagine your sleep patterns are very strange, because it does feel as though you sometimes get going on something and forget that you do need sleep. And when people work on spiritual stuff, that this does happen frequently, as well as that 3 a.m. calling that most people who are in the spiritual field find. They wake up at 3 a.m. only to go back to sleep again. But for some reason, 3 a.m. calls to them for some reason. As you get into the September timeframe, you have the law of free will here, which indicates that you probably are thinking about making many changes. And my words of wisdom to you are, you do have free will. You've paid your dues, but free will has a cost to it. You have to be willing to accept the results of what your choices are. It feels here as though you are moving in new directions that some people may say are quite foolish, and you take great joy in that. You don't want to be normal. You want to do strange and wonderful things. A long time ago, I met somebody on my radio show and ended up flying to San Francisco, and he moved in with me. Not after one show. I mean, we talked for a couple of months, but I thought at the time it was the perfectly normal thing to do. Now, in retrospect, I think I would have told myself to calm down and cool my britches, but it worked out. But I'm seeing you having this wonderful sense of freedom, such it's almost like a hippie type thing. And as you come into the October timeframe, it looks like home is changing. There's going through changes in your home. You may well be moving, and it looks as though there are at least two places that you call home here, and it feels as though home is very important to you. Home is a sanctuary for you, and you have to have that element. You have to have a place or a space that is just your own, almost like a temple, but not for religious purposes, but it's your sanctuary. It's your place of home. You have one inside. You definitely will go inside and be able to calm yourself down and become very calm if you have to. But what I'm seeing here is home is going through changes. It may be you're redecorating. It may be you're adding on. It may be you're moving. But as you hit the November timeframe, again, I'm seeing that there's a duality of living situations. So you may be living in two different places. Working from home is also a very important thing for you to do, because that's where your security is. That's where you feel grounded, and that's where you have the greatest power. And I would agree with that. Now, if you have a mundane job you're going to, everybody in the spiritual realm has to have a mundane job that feeds them, clothes them, and keeps the roof over their head. Now, at the same time, their work in the spiritual realms certainly can be, dealt with out of the home. So, don't go quitting your day job. But it does feel here as though there is a sense of two different jobs that you're working on at the same time. One is more spiritual than the other, and that's the one you really love. And the other one will feed you and keep you out of jail. So hang on to them both. As you hit January, there are changes that are going on around you. You're opening up to new directions. You're opening up to new people in your life, and it feels as though it's a time of renewal. There are new people coming in, and as you hit January, the threshold card is here. That's the card that indicates that you're stepping from the norm, from whatever your norm is, into a more cosmic approach to life. There's a sense here of anybody on a spiritual pathway who has been on the spiritual pathway for a long time steps over that threshold into new dimensions, new understandings, new wisdoms coming to you, not from the earth, but from the cosmos, not from the ancient texts, but from cosmic wisdom that is channeled. If you're not a channeler, you're going to have that experience. Whether or not you want to pursue it is, totally up to you. But as you hit the January timeframe, you're going to open yourself up to wisdoms that you don't know where they come from, and they come from the cosmos. They come from antiquity, above and beyond the earth plane. So it's going to be a very exciting time for you. February is a time of laughter, joy, and celebration. Lots of things going on here. It feels as though there are parties all over the place. It's also a time frame where new people come into your life that may have greater import than the ones that are already there now. I'm not seeing you losing people, but I am seeing new people come in that have profound impact on you in many different ways, on a personal level and on a spiritual level. So February is going to be a good time to look at. As you get into February, again, the home comes up here. So I feel that you're doing something with the home if you have moved or if you have enhanced your home. But you're sharing your home with other people here in the March timeframe, which is really, very profound. And it feels as though there are new groups of people that you're dealing with. New people are coming into your life. And as you hit April, here's where you become far more discerning than you are now. I'm not saying you're not discerning. I'm saying you're going to be more discerning, and you're going to be able to anticipate where people are coming from, their intentions, their intents. It's a matter of seeing the truth in most situations. And sometimes you're going to think something looks so good, it's too good to be true. And it may well be. I think there are offers coming to you in the month of April that you need to be very careful about. But if you sit with them long enough, I'm saying don't do anything without thinking. Don't do anything without observing. Don't do anything without checking references and things like that. But there's a situation coming that really you're gonna doubt, and I would pay attention to your doubt, because I have a feeling that if you pass it up, you're going to feel very good about yourself after the fact. As you hit, let's see, that was April, May. May is a time where May is an amazing time. It feels like the spotlight is falling on you. People are paying attention to your wisdom, to your ability to perceive, by your ability to share yourself with other people, by your ability to weave new agendas for people that they didn't anticipate. You're going to find people coming to you for help and guidance. Please understand that changes have to come from them internally. They can't be your changes. So that and you're very good and capable at this, helping people to understand where they need to be rather than telling them. For you, it's a laborious journey, helping, asking questions so that they find the answers inside of themselves. You kind of wish you could just tell them where to go and how to get there, but then that wouldn't work for them and they wouldn't do it. People have to find their own directions by themselves, and the wisdom you carry within is just it's blooming crazy. It's so good, but you can't hand it to people on a silver platter. They have to find it in themselves. Again, writing might be a good idea for you to kind of get some of this down on paper, because you have amazing material here. If you've never read any material on, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, there are a lot of really good spiritual things out there. Then the Emerald Tablets comes up here really profoundly. So I take a look at that material, check it out. As you get into the June timeframe, you have new foundations, new directions you're moving in. June is going to be a time when you're opening yourself up to the possibility of helping others in new and different ways. You have some wonderful material inside of you that's going to be very, very exciting. Come back and tell us, because it really looks like it's going to be an adventure for you that is going to be quite profound. Okay, Greg.
Okay. So Lynn, who you just read, said, I'm laughing this is a while ago. She said that she's laughing joyfully because yes, she gets very excited. And Marav said, thank you for the reading.
You're very welcome.
And now we're up to Dion. Now, Dion put a lot of questions. Oh, not questions. She put a lot of comments. First, she said, so she remembers you the first time you read her back in 2016. She said, she's amazing. So happy to be here. Then she asked, how long will I be living at my next apartment?
Okay.
Well, she said a whole bunch of nice things about you. She continued commenting.
Okay. Oh, look at the dog.
Teacup.
That's a pocketbook dog. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, sorry. Okay. Your next apartment. Wow. Timing is everything. And by saying it's up to you is not really a cop-out, because you go by impulse, and that's hard to read. Your next apartment. Well, if I had to give you a number, I would say 3 comes up. Now, obviously, it's not 3 days. Could be 3 months or 3 years. It feels to me as though moving and changing is very important to you. You have a restless spirit. So apartments are a good idea because you can get out of them. I'm not seeing the need for you to move, but I am seeing, because you are impulsive, that you will probably do it. And probably, again, the number 3 comes up. I don't know if it's months or if it's years, but 3 is definitely here. Your energy at this particular point in time is just crazy. So wherever you are, I would recommend you stay for a while till you can kind of stabilize yourself a little bit. There's just so much swirling around here energetically for you. It's a pleasure to look at. I don't want to step into it, but it's a pleasure to look at. I feel that there's so much change coming up for you, that being in a singular place for the changes to sort of anchor themselves and for you to work with them is a good idea. I would say that August is going to be a time here where there is definitely magic and miracles coming in from all different directions. So You're so much fun. There's so much great energy here. I would say that trust your intuition, because you are very, very intuitive. You've been working hard on that. And I would say that in the August timeframe, you're going to benefit greatly from the stability that your intuition gives you. Please do not. There seems to be a trip here planned out of the country. I'm not saying don't go. Well, I kind of am. It's not a time to go out of the country. If you go out of the country, you'll probably run into, problems here and there. You'll be safe, but it won't be the adventure you're looking for. So while you're inspired and you think it would be a great idea if you do go out of the country, I'm suggesting that investigating the country, learning about the country, putting it off for a year would probably be much wiser for you. Not saying you're going to do it that way, but it would probably be much wiser. August, again, a time where you've got magic and miracles, expecting the unexpected. So lots of wonderful stuff is going to be flowing your way. There's so much spiritual energy here. It's really great. Your intuition is phenomenal. Trust your gut. Unless you've had, I keep saying unless you have Mexican food. I hope you're not Mexican. But it's trust your gut reactions, because they are usually dead on. I wouldn't buy lottery tickets on them, but I would definitely pay attention to them when you feel a need to change or to move or to grow, because as you hit September, there's a great deal of you weaving things together. I see you weaving things together. I see you weaving people together, putting strange people together as friends and friendships. There's the sense of weaving is here, and it's all throughout all of the cards here. You've been one who has woven in many, many, many past lives. I want to take you to ancient Greece, where you were weaving fabrics, and a member of the aristocracy. So you spent hours and hours and hours with shuttles going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and you made beautiful things. I was seeing you in Asia, weaving carpets. This is so cool. I see you weaving carpets, and as you in the lifetime that you were weaving the carpets in Asia, you were also a seer, and literally you weren't weaving flying carpets exactly, but you were putting magic into what you were weaving. So the element of weaving this lifetime for you, whether it's with people, whether it's with jobs, whether it's with creative endeavors, you put magic into whatever you touch. And because you do that, there's an excitement inside of you that is very, very profound. You've never done anything of a creative nature when you were sad. You've always had light, love, and laughter around you. And it feels as though there's this sense of weaving here that is quite profound. I even, I want to suggest to you that you try to travel to some of those past lifetimes in which you did weaving, because there was magic concerning that. Certainly if you did knitting or crocheting, you could put magic into that. That's a form of weaving. There's a sense here of everything you touch, you put love into in one way or another, whether it's a thought or a prayer or whatever. And so that you have this element here of everything you touch has magic in it and is appreciated. And the people that are in your life for long term also appreciate the fact that they can't put a finger on it, but they know you're magical, which is so fascinating. There's a great continuity of energy here. You're taking your magic and you're putting it in new directions as you hit the September-October timeframe. Here's where you're weaving body, mind, spirit together. You're doing, there are lots of colors here. You're very color oriented. There's magic here. October has you working from home and creating things, gifts for people. You may even sell them. You feel very artistically oriented, but not traditionally artistically oriented. So I'm not saying you're going to, I'm saying that you are stretching yourself into new venues. You're finding new ways of being creative and gifting that creativity with other people. As you hit the November timeframe, there's a lot of work here. You're working out of home, and it does feel as though you're looking for a change. You're looking for moving in new directions, and I do feel you will be. There's let's see, November and December both seem to be linked together as far as working and moving in new directions, working and opening doors, working and instilling laughter into areas that don't normally have laughter in them, and yet you lighten the mood and you make people happy. As you hit January, it feels as though there's a new balance in your life. I feel also that there are legal papers of some sort signed. You're not being sued or anything like that, but it does feel like you're signing legal papers of some sort. Could be anything from the warranty on a new toaster to buying a new car or something like that. So there's a lot of really cool stuff here going on. And as you hit, I want to step back to January. January is a time of new balance. And you may find that in partnerships or relationships, there's a new balance. So a new balance is being established in relationships. Some of your close relationships are changing for the better, for the stronger. And as you hit the February timeframe, here's Phoenix rising here, reborn out of the ashes of the old. So you're letting go a lot of your old philosophies and embracing new philosophies that many will think are unique, and they will be. But it's a new you. You're recreating yourself, and it's here's where the element of travel comes up here again. I'd be comfortable in February if you traveled, but try to just take someone with you who can keep your feet on the ground, literally. That was an interesting statement, and pay attention to it. When I say keep your feet on the ground, literally, I do mean that in some way, shape, or form. There's a sense here that you're going to get blown away by something and want to do something that is probably a little impulsive. So have a friend with you. As you go into the March timeframe, here's where there's the element of commitment to new directions, to new people, to a new phase of life. And in April, there's this sense here of the spiritual coming in here again, a new level of spiritual, a different kind of spiritual. And you're going to be stepping over a threshold into a new understanding of ways in which to share your cosmic, your spiritual energy with other people. There's also, as you get into the May timeframe, whatever you start, whatever you send out, whatever you start in next May, whatever you bring into physical reality will be successful and will have a great return of your investment, whether it's energy, whether it's monetary, whether it's physical, whether it's people, whatever it is. But it does feel as though whatever you give out will come back to you greatly magnified. And it does feel as though there's a spiritual direction here. There's going into new places, new spaces, new discoveries. In many ways, you are a seeker of wisdom in unusual places. And what's interesting is that while you are a seeker of wisdom in unusual places, the greatest amount of spiritual wisdom is inside of you. And whatever you decide to write is going to be more profound than what you find in other people. As you come into the June timeframe, you're setting things in motion for new beginnings, for fresh starts in new areas. You're definitely putting your ducks in a row for some new endeavors. And again, there's such energy here. It's going in so many different directions. And strangely enough, you seem to have control. You seem to have control over it, which is amazing, because you just can't catch your breath. There's so much going on. And while it's going on, those times of peace and quiet where nothing happens and you complain, you're going to find you have great respect for them, and that you're very glad that you have a respite here and there between the adventures that you open yourself up to. Hope that helps.
Okay. Wow. Well, she gave some feedback. First of all, she's not Mexican.
Okay. So that about Mexican food goes,
Said, you taught me to use my spirituality over the years, and then said, oh my God, I love that so much. I'm not sure exactly when she posted that, what you said, but
somewhere in there.
And then she said, thank you very much.
What's the dog's name?
Oh, let's see if she helped us. While we're waiting for her to give us the dog's name. Lynn, who you read earlier, said so amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh.
And the dog's name is Cupid.
Of course. How could it not be?
So next up is Lisa C. And she said, when will the right job come?
Okay. Well, that's hard to say. The right job is wherever you are now is the right job for now. But you have the kind of energy that is not going to keep you in one place for very long, because you're looking for completion on many different levels of yourself. The central card I've got here is the threshold card, which suggests that you're at a place in time where you are tying up loose ends, dotting your I's and crossing your T's. So the right job, you're in the right job for right now. I would say that there is a change. Well, you're in a place of completion. So you'll stay in this job until you have completed what it is you need to tie up there, and then another job will come along, and you'll be there until you've completed what that is, tying up loose ends. And so you're going to hopscotch with jobs for a year or two. But know that every time you move on to a different job, it's only to complete something, to finish something inside of yourself. And it does feel as though this whole next year, this next 12 months, you may have 2 to 3 different jobs, and all of them will feel perfect initially. And then you'll realize that, okay, I've satisfied this, and I can now move on to something else, to another area, to another aspect of myself. This is a say that by the time we hit September, October, you will have changed and you will have moved on. Now, sometimes the job that you're in that is feeding you is not the job that we're really focusing on. So understand, we are here on this earth plane in physical form in order to experience physical reality, but the spirit inside of us is gathering information in other areas in other ways. So many times we will find ourselves in a job that we just don't understand why we're there. And yet the spirit needs that experience. I have 2 master's degrees. I taught school for 25 years. And at one point in time, I took a part-time job stuffing envelopes. And it was cool. I really enjoyed it. But for some reason, I needed to be in a place where I was doing monotonous work and stuff like that so that I could work on stuff inside of myself. And when I come to the end of that, I moved on, and so it's hard to say when you have to look at this life experience as, what am I gathering here? It's not, this is mundane and this is boring and I don't like it. It's, why don't I like it? And then if I feel I don't like it, what is it about in me that I need to change so that I do like it? And when you do like it, then you can move on. So that jobs that come our ways are experiences for us to grow spiritually through. So it's not a matter of what the job is. It's the experience it gives us to grow more and to spread our wings, so to speak. So it's sort of the right job for you. Full job ended in January. Company chillos, paint and do hair, Uber, anything that makes me money right now. Perfect. So you may well find yourself, at some point in time, you are a caregiver, but I'm not seeing it for people as much as I'm seeing it for animals. So that look in those directions. I feel that you are at a place where there's so much that you do and you can do that it's hard to choose. But whatever you're doing right now is good for right now. And I would say that by the time you hit September, October, there will be a job that will be a full-time job, but only for a time. Your energy doesn't need a 20-year experience. Your energy needs being in some place, getting something from it, and moving on. And I would say for the next year, that's what you're going to do. And you're going to have a great time with it if you look upon it as, okay, what's coming my way? This will make money for now. And what can I learn about me from it? There have been times, in everybody's life when, we just don't feel this is the right job. And if you sit back and look at yourself and you say, why am I not happy here? What is it about this job that I don't feel is right? And how can I fix in me something that will make that feel better? And once you figure that out, you can move on. And that's what I feel you're going to be doing. You're going to be hopscotching, but it's a great hopscotch time. And if you look upon it prospectively correctly, it's a joyful experience. It's, well, I'm done with that. Now I can move on to this. And something will always come your way. You have that kind of an energy that will always find something that will support you and feed you and clothe you. And so the next year is going to be a time where you go through a lot of this. However, because of what you've got going on, so by the time you hit a year from January, you will find a job that you're going to want to be in for a while. But again, you don't want anything. You bore easily, and so you will find something. I know, and you will find something that challenges you, so that you want to stick with it and grow with it. But you're not there yet. You have lots of things to finish doing, and once you get a year from this November, I can see you finding something that you're doing probably from the home, but you'll do for a year or 2 or 3. And then as you move forward, it won't be the hopscotch that you've got for the next 12 months. For the next 12 months, have fun. You're keeping body and soul together. You're getting everything done. That's the important part. And And then when you do find something that is more solid, then you're going to be able to spend your time more spiritually on some of the deeper things that are going on. But you've reached a point in time in your evolution where you are, it's another step. You just have to clean up the stuff that is hanging on and you haven't tied up the loose ends from. And the jobs will come your way and you'll do them for a while and then you'll move on to something else and you'll feel like, I learned something from this. And it's always something positive. Let me really emphasize that. It's always something very positive that you learn from these different experiences that you're growing from. It's not, well, I learned I don't want to do that again. That's not the case. If you're there to learn something positive. Once you've learned something positive, then you can move on. It does feel here as though September is going to be a time where you're moving into new aspects of yourself. It does feel as though things are easing up on you just a little bit. And as you hit the October timeframe, you have free will. You're gonna move. There are changes here for you, and you may just meet somebody. I mean, sometimes you meet people that have something that can offer you in the grocery store, or in the waiting line, or just you see something that just feels right, and you go for it. In other instances, by the time you hit November, it feels like home is changing to a certain degree, and you're opening yourself up. It feels like there are new people coming into your life here, and November, December has new elements of life that are opening up for you. I do feel you working with groups of people here, new groups of people. Looks like it's very, very interesting. And as you hit the January timeframe, here's where the spiritual stuff comes in. You're very spiritually oriented. There's music here too. I wonder, are you involved in it? Well, there's music. It feels like music has great impact for you, whether you perform it or listen to it or are a part of it. But music seems to be where that lightens your spirit and your soul and opens you to other dimensions. So music is very important to you, spiritually speaking, in the month of January. February has you with being honest with yourself about a lot of the new truths that you've discovered about you, the new aspects of you that you want to explore further. And again, on a spiritual level, because the spiritual is coming in here very, very strong after the first of the year. There is laughter, joy, and celebration as you hit the April timeframe. You may well. Okay, so this is one of those weird things I have to warn people about before I say them. Oftentimes when I'm reading somebody, something comes in that has nothing to do with anything that I have said or was coming through me, and yet it's there profoundly. And it's in the February, March timeframe. I'm seeing you with either roller skates or ice skates on. So it has something to do with roller skates or ice. Write this down someplace, put it in a calendar, and when you come to February and March, see what roller skates or ice skates has to do with your life at that particular point in time. To me, ice skates glide, roller skates roll. Both of them are movement that you glide through to a degree. I have no idea what it means, but by the time you hit March, there's laughter, joy, and celebration. But ice skates and roller skates come in here profoundly. So as you hit May, there is this element here of spotlight falling on you, you stepping into the spotlight, so to speak. So I feel that there are groups of people that are around you that you're speaking before or with. I feel that there are people paying attention to what you're saying, and it opens you up to new directions. Karmically speaking, by the time we go into 12 months from now, you're going to be in a completely different place. There is a sense here of having wisdoms to share that you didn't know you had, and finding yourself working with people in ways that you never experienced, but they will be longer term jobs, so that there is that sense of stability here that you're looking for. Okie dokie.
Okay. All right. Before we get to the next one, Dion and Cupid just said one last thing. Barbara DeLong is legendary.
Oh, God.
A pleasure. I thought you'd like that one.
Usually happens after you die, but thank you.
Okay. Next up is Brent. Brent said, in my UFO studies, am I on the right track? What might I need to do next to improve?
Oh, Brent. Son of a gun. I know Brent Rains. Okay. UFO studies. Oh, good. We can get into that kind of stuff. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So what you've got going on here is on the right track. There is a tremendous amount of spiritual energy, not religious, spiritual energy connected to your topic. And from what I'm seeing here is, are you on the right track? Yes and no. The material itself has opened a door, and that door leads to unexpected areas. It feels here as though you have been, in many ways, confined to tradition, and the direction that you're going in is non-traditional. It walks away from preconceived notions into areas that have a more spiritual aspect and definition too. You're at a point where you're about to step away from popular opinion into an area that is unique and beyond what traditionality has attached to that particular topic. UFOs have always been there, but their purpose and their reason and their intention is not what people are experiencing, or what is not what is commonly written about them. So that you are moving into and you have the ability to step over that threshold. Because it feels to me that at this particular point in time, there is, for the next 12 months, especially, there is guidance on a spiritual level. And please don't misunderstand me. I'm not sending you into religious gobbledygook here at all, because that's it. You're stepping into an area where religion has nothing to do with anything. So again, another box that has created a prison in many ways to people's belief systems, so that the spiritual is opening up to new insights, dimensions, and realms. And there's an interdimensional level to this material, and it feels like you're moving towards that interdimensionality. I would say that what you've got going on now is that it's really kind of funny. If I look at this particular month, it's the month in which there's pregnancy, and that's a wonderful quality. It feels as though you are birthing a new understanding, a new concept, a new direction to take an old topic and make it more relevant to humanity as a whole. So that what you've got going on here is a healing of a breach, almost as though it's a dimensional breach, moving you into new aspects of understanding that have no blueprint, so that you're almost, you're opening a realm to yourself that you are the source. And as you move into the fall time frame, as you move into the August and September time frame especially, there is a sense of realizing that a lot of material is just regurgitated over and over and over again. And where you're going, it hasn't been. So that as you hit the October timeframe, here's where you have a breakthrough. October is a time of a breakthrough. October is a time in which you begin to see things in a different light. There's an interdimensional phase here, almost a folding over of time, and then a dimensional split, so that you are able to bring information through that takes this whole concept into a different level of understanding and purpose, so that it's going to be phenomenal. I mean, you've done research that is really profound. It does feel, though, that there is another level here, and it's an interdimensional one. It goes beyond this dimension. I'm not sure which way. I don't think there's an up or down. There's probably a left or right, but another dimension. And you're at a place where you are definitely forging new territory. And please, be aware that somebody who goes this far afield is initially made fun of and possibly even criticized. And eventually they become a hero. But boy, those first steps are tough ones. So it feels to me like you will be so confident into what you're seeing and what you're feeling that it won't matter if people think you're a little off center, because you've got this wonderful, pure spiritual energy here that is opening these doors for you. So as you get into the December timeframe, especially, there is a duality here. It's a duality where you can see where it's anticipated that you will go, but there is also a direction as to where you will go. Are you going to play it safe, or are you going to go for it? And you're going to go for it, because as you hit January, there is this sense here of being compensated for chances taken, sacrifices made. There is a sense here of you're gonna find that you've been here before. I mean, in this position before, in past lifetimes, where you were one who opened the door, one who parted the veil, one who brought new thought and new foundations into places that had become antiquated. There are going to be interesting confrontations for you, but you're strong as heck. You're fine. As you hit the February timeframe, there's a newness here about you that is quite profound. And as you hit the March timeframe, there are new beginnings, fresh starts, and it feels as though some of those who may have criticized decide to take a second look at what you've written, what you've done, what you've shared, and you're going to find that it won't be long before you're not alone in a new belief system totally, which is profound. You come into April, and there is a new direction for you. It feels like there's travel here for you as well. I'm feeling, let me see. There's travel here to South America, and there's travel here to, there's travel here to the Sinai, the desert. And the Sinai, no, not the Sinai, to Africa, to the desert in Africa, to that desert. And it feels as though there's some sort of spiritual counsel there. You're going to find deserts draw you in. Not so much. I see you in South America. I don't see deserts there, actually, but I see you in deserts like in Egypt, in the Sinai, and then in Africa, and Australia. So for some reason, desert areas are going to draw you. I don't know why or what for. It may just be vacations, but I feel it's much more, because I think you're breaking ground on new material that is going to be so overwhelming. It's going to be exciting. There is also the element here as you get into the May time frame of new creative energy, of new healing energy, the element of taking a new look at some of the old thoughts and finding new directions to take them. And as you hit the June time frame, here's where you may step back and think, maybe you should cool it a little bit, but you don't. And then you move into new directions again. It's a very exciting time. But again, you are going to be the forerunner, which is not an easy place to be, but ends up a really cool place to be. I hope that helps. Okay. Now that I sounded really weird to everybody.
All right. Lisa commented on the roller skates and the ice skates. She said, it can't be literal. I never do either since I had major foot surgery, but we shall see. And then Dion suggested that maybe her T-shirt that says, with a pair of skates on it that says, I roll with the best of them. Maybe it has something to do with that.
Well, I didn't say, he said it's literal. He's talking the travel, I think. The travel could be any way. I mean, it could be, I'm seeing the travel, but it gives you time to heal, gives you time to walk. And if not, there's always visiting it in your astral body. You're gonna be working with those areas. I am for sure. We'll see. Keep me posted.
Okay, next up is Eileen. This is what she posted at first. Can I please get a reading regarding my love and business life? And then she kind of put it in caps and then expanded a little bit. She said, regarding her love and business life expansion. She added the word expansion. So.
Okay. Love life expansion and business. Okay. Well, first off, the very first person we have to work on is ourselves. And the day we stop working on ourselves is the day that people lose interest because we're not changing. It does feel as though love and business life. Well, I would say they are almost connected, but they're connected because the work has to be done on you first. It has to be within you. The desire for expansion comes from within you, making you the perfect person you want to have in your life. As far as the business goes, the business is only a place in which you are able to grow into, to utilize, to grow better and stronger. You've got some really profound cards here, so that I would say that you're at a point in time here where you are ready to make changes. But I think the most important thing to say to you is that if you want expansion, if you want change, it comes from you inside first. And once you inside have expanded, then life expands for you. So it's not a matter of making something happen externally, it's making something happen internally. So it seems to me as though what you're doing here is you're limiting yourself. You're playing it, I doubt it, with yourself. And as a result, you're not stretching yourself as much as you possibly can. And as you get into the month of August, there's the element of the pregnancy card here. And the pregnancy card here doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get pregnant. It means you're going to take a greater interest in expanding and developing your own inner qualities. And as you do that, your life expands externally. It's one of the biggest universal laws out there. We create our reality by our perception of it. If you want a different love life, if you want a more expansive love life, then you become more expansive within yourself. You don't look for another person to do it. You do it within yourself so that your life becomes more expansive. That draws more people to you, and it makes your life more expansive. But it all rests within the individual. It's not a matter of waiting for something to come your way that's a perfect fit. It's you become whole within yourself, and then you become a magnet that draws someone else who's whole within themselves. And then the real challenge is to make sure that neither of you let go of your dreams, and neither of you try to impose upon the other person's dream. You give them the flexibility and the freedom to grow within themselves, and they give that same to you. So if you're looking for work-related material, I would stop doubting yourself. I would say that the element of growth and stretching yourself are here. I'm not sending you back to school, but I am saying learning more, expanding your own talents and your gifts within your profession, within your business, is a very wise thing. And the other thing that's very important here for you is to not rely on other people to do things you should be able to do yourself. Don't ever let anybody tell you it's too hard, you can't learn it, because that teaches you to not trust yourself. And the reality is you have a great deal of intellect and capability and talent within you, and you're not stretching it. So begin stretching inside of yourself, whether it's taking classes or courses in different aspects of your career, or going back to school. But I don't see you going back to school. I see you actually learning how to do some of the things that other people do, and finding that once you are expanding your skills, expanding your talents, then people will pay attention, and your capability, because your capabilities are growing, your potential will grow and your career will grow. As far as the love life goes, that's again working on yourself. If you're in a relationship, it's making sure you're taking care of yourself and growing. If you're not in a relationship, then again, working on yourself, expanding yourself, becoming the kind of person you want to attract into your life. Instead of waiting for somebody to come, you become that kind of person, and then you attract it. The other thing too that is really important for you to hear is that Mr. Right or Mrs. Right or whatever, the right person can't sit down in the chair next to you if the wrong person is sitting there. So pay attention to that. There's nothing wrong with an empty chair, because that means that the potential to fill that chair is great. So, and I'm not saying kick somebody out who's next to you either. I'm saying work on yourself. And if the person you're with is doing the same thing, then the relationship grows and spreads and becomes profound. There's a lot of healing energy here as you get into the September, October timeframe. It feels as though you're working on yourself. It feels as though you have the freedom to stretch yourself as you hit the November timeframe. There's a threshold card here, and that indicates that's a career place where it falls. So it would seem to me that career will open up and expand greatly if you have opened and expanded your own talents and skills and gifts too. As you hit December, there's a sense here of feeling as though there's a fresh wind blowing around you. It feels as though there's new light within you, and it does open you to more healing energy. We're constantly working on ourselves. We're constantly healing aspects and qualities within ourselves. None of us are perfect. If we were perfect, we wouldn't be here. So it's a matter of healing parts of yourself that you've kind of avoided working on. And as you do that, again, you become a more enticing person to people, and new people will be attracted to you. As you hit the February timeframe, there's a sense here, again, working on healing, working on letting go. And I'm not saying you're sick. I'm just saying there are aspects that you need to work on. All of us have them. All of us have places where we could improve, places that we could expand. And the more you work on yourself, the more excited you become about life. The more excited you become about life, the more you attract people to you that are in the same place. It's just an amazing, amazing thing. As you hit the March timeframe, again, there's healing energy here, and there's creative energy flowing. And as you hit the April timeframe, lots of new people coming into your life, lots of new people that you're doing things with. So it does feel as though the more you work on yourself, the more you attract to your life. And it's not a matter of saying, if you sit back and say, I'm perfect, then I hope people back off, because lightning will strike. Because if you're perfect, you don't belong here. But, there's always something to fix. There's always something to work on. There's always an area we can expand on. And they can be fun. They don't have to be work. They can be fun, and they should be fun, because becoming a better person, a greater person, a more expansive person is a joy to do. And yes, it's work, but it's a lot of fun. And you'll make mistakes, and those are our learning experiences. Without the mistakes, we'll never approach perfect. And do be wary. If you think you're perfect, then you don't belong here at all. And none of us are perfect. But as you hit the May timeframe next year, you're attracting a lot of new people to you. So I would assume, from what I'm seeing here, you're going to do a tremendous amount of work, and it's going to be very exciting for you. And the greatest part of it is you never stop learning. You never stop growing. And if you stop growing, there's no point to this lifetime. You're here to grow. You're here to learn. You're here to expand. And you're here to become a better person in the physical. And you never know what it is our spirit has been looking for, because the spirit is what's gathering its material for its next adventure. It's certainly paying attention to what's going on now, but the reality is that what you do on a spiritual level, what you do on a creative level, is what fuels the spiritual growth, and it is the creativity within you that fuels the pathway of this lifetime. The more creative you are, the faster and more exciting the journey is throughout this lifetime. Okay? Hope that helps you.
Okay, great. Brent said, thanks, Barbara. I'm on a different approach that does involve spiritual aspects quite strongly, too. Very interesting reading. Much appreciated. So I just want to give you that feedback. And next up, we have Jax. And Jax said, hello, I would love a general reading. 2 smiley faces.
Wow.
Double smiley.
Okie doke. All righty. So, okay. So there's a sense here of changes in the wind. It does feel as though you're moving into new aspects of life here. I feel that your philosophical sense of self is changing greatly, and and I think you're moving in new directions of exploration within yourself. I'd say that this month, especially, we're in August, kind of almost. I would say that this is a time where you are giving yourself permission to grow in new directions. And it does feel as though there is a tremendous amount of growth here. It's almost as though you are letting go of the restrictions that you've held on yourself to keep you on the straight and narrow. And I'm not saying you're going to get off the straight and narrow, but I am finding that you're going to give yourself greater freedom to investigate areas that you've always been curious about but haven't really dabbled in yet. I would say that some of it has to do with of course, spirituality to a certain degree, but there are talents and gifts that have a spiritual flavor to them that aren't necessarily ones that you would connect with spirituality. There's a sense here of moving into things that you have dreamed about but never tried. Don't try skydiving. For some reason, I see skydiving here. Don't try skydiving. I don't think you'd die, but I don't think it would be a good experience for you. I have no idea where that came from. Anyhow, as you get into September, there's a sense here of listening to yourself more, and it does feel as though you've not paid attention to your own gut, to your own intuition, to your own sense of where I want to go when I grow up, if I grow up. As you hit the October timeframe, there's a sense here of playing I doubt it with yourself, kind of almost saying like, maybe I could, maybe I couldn't, I don't know, stretching yourself. And it does look as though there's a little bit of putting a halt on things because you may have gone too far. Never, you can't go too far. And as you hit the November timeframe, there's a sense here of birthing a new aspect of yourself. I think you're coming out of a shell of some sort, and it does feel as though you are moving into a new aspect of yourself. There's a new you coming out of the woodwork, so to speak. I feel that there are strengths that you have never showed before that you're going to start to develop and bring into reality. It feels as though you may have a couple of hobbies that look as though they could easily become careers if you wanted to put it that far. As you go into the January timeframe, there's a sense here of money coming into you above and beyond what you anticipate, so that there is, and again, this is not an inheritance, it's money coming into you that you've earned. It feels as though there either is a pay raise of some sort, or you find another area that you're going to use that will generate finances for you. But there's a greater amount of money coming in here than you have right now. January holds a healing aspect for you. There's healing energy here as the letting go of past difficulties and just making room to move forward in time in new directions. There's a sense here of at least relationships, at least 2 relationships coming your way in the February timeframe that look pretty interesting. They don't look like they're in conflict, so they can be relationships in different aspects of your life. But it does feel as though there's a newness to all that you have and all that you are as you hit the new year, almost as though you've rebirthed yourself. There's a rebirthing of yourself is what it is. March has a new beginning here for you in new directions. It has, again, new aspects, new hobbies, habits, things you've always wanted to try. It's not so much a bucket list, because the bucket list doesn't really fit the feeling that I'm getting. But you've got new directions here, new things coming into you that are really quite profound. And it's very exciting because you seem to be taking on all offers that come your way. into things to experience, things to expand you on consciousness level as well as spiritual. As you and actually March, April, and May, mark it on your calendar. They are going to be the most profound months you have had in a long time. April is going to be a time where crown chakra opens up even more. You get more spiritual energy flowing through and to you and with you. And it does feel as though there is a new aspect of understanding of life and purpose and direction. And as you hit the May time frame, you have the threshold card, which is a greater understanding of this and other dimensions, other aspects, other worlds. It feels as though you're taking your perception of the life's journey out of this world and taking it beyond into other aspects of where your spirit will flow. You're more into, in the March, April, May timeframe, you're more into understanding the element of the spiritual journey as opposed to the physical journey. And it's going to open you up to a lot of new directions. As you hit the June timeframe, you're rebirthing yourself yet again. There's a new aspect of you understanding partially the journey that your spirit is on and how you can enhance this lifetime by the magic, by the tools and the magic that you've got within you, and opening yourself up to utilizing those tools and magic and applying them to your reality so that you do have greater financial security coming in, but at the same time, you're also reaching out beyond the limitations you had put on yourself into new directions and new areas of life that are going to be very exciting for you. So I look forward to hearing back from you on this one. This looks like it's a very exciting time for you. Okay.
Well, a little feedback was I was terrified of heights. So I guess no skydiving.
No skydiving, no.
Real quick said she's been working on herself for 60 years, trusting and always creating new things. I'm very happy in my life, busy creating my business is great and flowing for 65 years. I love change and expansion.
Yay.
Yeah. All right. So next up is, let's see, I don't have a first name on this one. It's Ms. Where are we? I gotta find. There we go. All right, Miss Honoranat. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. Can I get a reading to see if any loved ones are around me and if they have a message? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay. Let me see. Okay. There is a gentleman spirit here. It feels that he has been gone for a while. He's not current. I'm going to describe him because I'm seeing a rather tall man, about 5'8", 5'10", white hair, and he wore glasses, but he had glasses. He didn't wear them all the time. He feels fatherly, or he feels very strongly around you, I guess is the best way to put it. He is protective of you, and he wants you to know that he's always been there and he always will be. It feels as though there's this element of protection around you from him. And it's interesting. He often hugs you and you feel the hug and don't know what it is. Interesting. Okay, there's also, let's see, there's a lady here. She's either a sister or was like a sister to you. And she giggles a lot. She has a lot of joy in her. She she liked shiny things. She's showing me sparkly things. And she's saying that one of the things she enjoyed the most with being around you was the laughter that you shared. This feels like it's a friend or a sister And sometimes friends are more like sisters than sisters are, so I'm not sure. The sparkly thing she's using is identifiable. The laughter she's using is identifiable. This is somebody you talk to a great deal. So, and she passed. She's more recent than the older gentleman that I saw. There's also a child here, and I'm not sure if this is this is in somehow connected to you. That it's a male child, and he's around you as well. It feels as though this is a male child that you've had with you in a past life. So this may actually be a past life spirit as opposed to a this life spirit. But there is a male child here. His age, I'm hard with ages. He feels like 8, 9, 10. He feels joyful. He feels quiet. He passed from something that had to do with his lungs, and it feels as though he passed at a young age. I feel a great sadness connected to him. So this may be somebody that you were very, very close to. There's also, okay. I'm seeing cats and dogs. So don't know if you've had a number of them, but your energy this lifetime certainly attracts animals like crazy. And it feels as though there are cats and dogs around you all over the place. And even if you're allergic to them, it doesn't matter. I'm personally allergic to cat and dog here, and I've always had a cat and or dog. So, but in spirit, they're there for you. There's also, gosh, this goes to past lives, though. There's a horse. There's a horse that's special around you. And I feel that this is a horse that you either rode or had, and it may not be this lifetime. And the other thing I'm seeing here is a woman who's holding ballet slippers. And the ballet slippers are the identifying criteria I'm getting. This lady is holding ballet slippers. Have no idea how that connects to you, but it does. That's what I'm getting as far as spirits hanging around you. The boy is interesting with the chest thing, the friend that giggles and has sparkling thing, and the man who's protective. Those are what I'm seeing around you right now. No idea if you can identify that, but that's what I'm seeing. Okay, Greg.
Okay. Well, we haven't got any feedback from her yet, but Jack said thank you so much. I love that.
Oh,
And
good.
next up is Nancy. Let's see if we can find Nancy. Oh boy. What happened to Nancy?
Did you lose your stars?
Well, sometimes we lose. Oh, there it is. Yes. Hello, Barb. Do you see me in a loving relationship or companionship within the next year? Thank you.
Okay. Well, it's plenty of time. I mean, what's the difference between, well, I guess there is. Loving relationship or companionship. Sure. Within the next year, it gives me 12 months from right now. You're doing a lot of work on yourself. I feel that there is going to be a relationship for you and or companionship, whichever. I guess, the quickie answer is yes. it looks like there is a miracle and a special relationship, and it's a committed relationship by January or February, in that time frame. And give me a little leeway on either side of that. You're working on yourself. You're putting yourself through. You're continuing to work on yourself. You're at home within what's going on within your life at this moment in time. You are at a place where you're opening up to a lot of new aspects and elements of yourself. Remember to keep working on yourself and keep your fingers out of other people's dreams, because you like to help other people. But as you got here, as you move into the, January, February, June, July, August, coming into August, there are at least 2 new people coming into your life. Now I don't get any description of people when it comes to relationships, because that will mean you won't look at anybody else that has that color hair or those color eyes. I am seeing people coming into your life. I'm seeing at least 2 people coming into your life in August, but I don't know if that's what I'm seeing when I get to the January, February timeframe. So you have new people coming into your life. You are opening yourself up to new directions. You are constantly working on yourself, which is what you should be doing. As you hit the September timeframe, it feels like home goes through shifts and changes. I hear changes in your house, whether it's painting or building or shifting or whatever. But as you come into the October timeframe, it's almost as though you are creating a warm, inviting environment for yourself and others who will share it with you. As you come into the November timeframe, there's a sense here of geez, it almost feels like you're going to make Christmas presents or presents for the holidays. You're looking at all sorts of new ways of celebrating old holidays, and it looks like it's going to be very exciting. And as you get into the December timeframe, there are creative endeavors going on here. It does feel like you're bringing your creativity into all aspects of life, and by doing that, there's such joyful celebration and laughter and light. It's beautiful. As you get into January, you have magic and miracles, expecting the unexpected. That's the place where I would look for relationship or companionship, and then commitments as of February. So it does feel as though you are getting ready to actually have the kind of relationship you're looking for. Just remember to keep working on yourself, because if you don't, then you can't make the magic happen. As you hit March, there are changes. It looks like there's move, as though you're looking towards moving in new directions. Don't know if that's career or if that's or if it has to do with your physical where you're living, but motorcycles. But as you get into April, there's the element of working on new areas of life. You continue to work on yourself, which is the best way to pull relationship in. And I do feel you do. There are new people here. There's celebration here. As you hit the April timeframe, there's also travel. And it feels as though as you hit the May timeframe, there's compensation coming to you, not only monetarily, but personally, as though you've stretched yourself and you've drawn new people to you, and you're gifted by friendship and loving friendships with lots of new people and lots of new aspects of life and a new balance in life. As you hit the June timeframe, it feels like it's an amazing new balance that's going to open you up to new directions that are going to be absolutely phenomenal. Hope that helps. And that's it, Greg.
That's it. I've had a couple more, but Michelle and Herman and Carol will get to you next time.
Well, Herman knows me well. I've known him forever, so he'll come back.
Okay.
My gosh, he was in a meditation group I did. gosh, 15, 16 years ago. So,
Wow.
yes,
People coming out of the woodwork, huh?
I guess so. Yeah.
It's great.
So, yeah, and I do still have some of the tokens for the app for the Cosmic Deck. So if anybody's interested in getting one of the free tokens, let me know through the website, and we can send you one of the tokens so you can get the app for your phone for free. And if you want a personal reading, that's on my website as well. And thank you for treating Greg so well. And we'll see you the 2nd and the 4th Thursday in August. Right? Right.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And I'll see you next time.
Good night.